packed up my life and moved out here to Dubai for 3 months, joining the Beautiful Destinations Academy. And as you can see, I'm already here. Now, you might be in a similar position, traveling for a week, a month, or a whole year, whatever. And if you're a filmmaker, you might be wondering what's the most functional and compact camera setup you can have. In this video, I'll be breaking down my Sony FX3 travel rig setup, the exact setup that I use for Iceland, Morocco, New York, and all the places that I've been to. It also comes in 3 stages, because I do recognize that's quite big. So let's start with the foundation setup that I have. The camera of my choice is the Sony FX3. I think it's a great all-rounder. Around the camera, I have the tilter full cage that can also be split into a half cage. But because I'm rocking this side handle by Small Rig, I keep it in its full setup. And lastly, at the top, I have a NATO rail that I'm not sure what brand it's from, so that's going to be somewhere here on the screen. And 99% of the time, this is what I'm rocking. It doesn't have any cables hanging out, and this whole package fits into every bag that I have. Now, sometimes you might want more control, and that's when the second stage of this build comes in. At the top, I attach a nitsy top handle, which is a quick release, and it has mounting points literally everywhere. And then I add a monitor arm, which connects the missing piece. For this specific setup, my go-to choice is an iPhone 14 Pro Max, which I usually attach with a MagSafe attachment or a clamp. Then on the actual phone, I download the monitor and control app made by Sony. That way you can see your feed on a bigger screen and have more monitoring tools at your disposal. Now, there is a downside to this setup, which is if you're using the iPhone 14 Pro Max or anything older than that, you can't connect it with USB-C, which means that sometimes, especially in busy environments, you're gonna have a lot of latency. But I can live with that, mainly because I'm waiting for the iPhone 17 Pro. For quick run and gun situations where you need to know what you're filming and make sure that your composition is right, this packs up lightly and is still efficient. In fact, this is the exact setup we used for most of our trip in Morocco. Running around the Medina of Marrakesh allowed me to really see the compositions on a bigger screen and not sacrifice on having a big bulky setup to scare people off. It was actually getting a bit too hot outside, so let's continue this in the hotel room. And before I get into the Sony FX3 setup, I wanted to talk about MotionRay, who are kindly sponsoring this video today. If you're new, MotionRay is a platform with tons of premium video assets like templates, music, LUTs, and much more. Every plan comes with over 50 plugins to help you make better videos. Things like color grading, stylizing your videos, and callouts. And the best part, they're compatible with all the major video editing platforms. Whenever I need easy drag and drop graphics, let's say to ask you to subscribe and like this video, I use MotionRay. Some of the assets I like and use for my videos from MotionRay are retro overlays for making your videos less digital, punch hole transitions for masking harsh cuts between different scenes, energy explosions for some cool VFX, especially if you want to get more into that kind of space. Even some stock footage for whenever you want to practice editing or you need to fill in some gaps in your deliverables. So if you want to find out more, check out the link in the description and try it out yourself for free. Okay, now it's time for the actual full camera build. And I do have some notes on my phone, but I think it'll be easier if I just show you and kind of walk you through the setup whilst it's with me. This is the magical beast that I use for probably all my handheld shooting. At least I prefer to use this. Unless I'm rocking a gimbal, this is my go-to. Holding this in my hands just feels nice. And the bigger screen makes it really easy to see what I'm shooting and kind of looks cool. Okay, so in this setup, most of the stuff really is the same as it was in the previous one. We still have the same nitsy top handle, the side handle is there, the cage hasn't changed. The only thing that's different now is we have this base plate, which I kind of Frankensteined into existence. It breaks down into different parts. This itself is a battery, but on the back, it accepts MPF batteries. I can also flip it around so that it can accept regular V-mount batteries, and the base plate itself takes Arca Swiss, which is built into the cage, and that is all being held by these 2 carbon rods. This not only adds weight, but it also acts as a good base, so I can put the camera down. I like that it's functional in terms of taking different batteries. To actually connect it to the camera, all you do is you align your base of the cage with this slot here, slide it in, kind of align it so it's in the middle, and lock it at the bottom here. Then plug in your monitor, and your camera as well if you want to charge your camera. I usually don't. I usually just use this power source for the monitor itself. So that's the addition at the bottom. And at the top, we're actually swapping the iPhone for a bigger screen, which in my case is the Portkeys LH7P. It's great. It connects to the camera so you can also record from the monitor, and it has the red border, all the settings there. And there you have it, the full setup that is not too compact, not too portable, but it's a good weight, it's well balanced. And essentially, I guess this is more for situations where you're out on shoot and you do want to have more control from your setup. The stakes are higher, you need to have a director's monitor, or just in general where you want to have a beefier and I guess more professional looking setup. Even though, don't get me wrong, there's people that film whole campaigns with just, I don't know, Sony ZV-1, that's also fine. If you're someone who wants to upgrade their camera and is always on the lookout for different camera setups, like I am, this is pretty close to perfect. There you have it, 3 different camera setups where each one of them builds upon the previous. And don't get me wrong, this is all personal preference. What works for me might not work for you, and that's totally fine. After a lot of trial and error, I have actually found the setup that works for me. Something that's big and comfortable in my hands, and equally that can be broken down into a smaller setup for traveling. Having these 3 different setups allows me to create the best work that I can. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful, and of course if you did, make sure you like the video, drop any comments with any questions, and subscribe for more content like this. As you know from the beginning of this video, I'm now in Dubai for the next 3 months shooting for beautiful destinations and Visit Dubai, so if you have any questions around that, ask me away, and honestly, if you have any content suggestions, drop those down below as well, because I need some ideas and I would like to know what you want to see. Could be a day in the life, could be more informative stuff, could be maybe behind the scenes. I'll probably have to check how much I can share, but yes. And of course, if you want to see more stuff from my day-to-day here, check out my Instagram. That's where I kind of post stories. You know how it goes. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.